to Justin. Let's see. Justin, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey.
Hi, Justin.
You're talking to Jenna and V. It says that there's a purpose and meaning in the universe, which means that God exists. It is a proven fact. Awesome.
No, I'm sorry, I'm speaking to Janet.
Jenna and V.
Jenna and V, how are you doing?
Good. Thanks for asking.
So just full disclosure, not only am I claiming that, but I'm also claiming that I'm God's messenger. I have a YouTube channel called God's Messenger.
Oh, I think I've
that-
heard of you. You've been on the show before, have you not?
Oh, no, I haven't. This is my first time.
Okay.
Was another God's
Awesome.
messenger, apparently.
Well, he has many.
Okay.
I'm claiming that God has revealed the universe to me, and I've explained how the universe works.
Wait, what does that mean? Revealed the universe to you. What does that mean?
I had epiphany. It came to me. Like I
What
understood
came to you?
how the universe works.
How the universe works? Like a math equation or?
No, like how the truth about how the universe works, how everything works, the depth behind how everything works. So the universe just means everything.
Like a map?
Yes. Well, I draw a map in my video, P2, how the universe works. You could YouTube search it, P2, how the universe works.
Okay,
And
so why should we believe that you had this epiphany and that it's from God?
Okay, so first of all, when I say that I'm God's messenger, all I mean is that I'm speaking truth. So if someone were to
That's
tell
not
you,
the same thing. Those are two very different things.
Why wouldn't you just say you're speaking truths?
Well, because the truth is something that I'm submitting to. So
Wait, hold on. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, honestly, I'm sorry. When you're talking about somebody or something, revealing the universe to you, and you're God's messenger, but that only means that you're speaking in truth. Like, why are you going to great lengths to put this into, like, fluffy language?
Okay, so I don't mean to put anything in fluffy language, so I'll explain it perfectly.
Cool.
The fact that God, I don't mean to put anything in fluffy language.
Yeah, I just prefer, normal, like, what do you believe?
Well, no problem. Well, the reason why I call the thing that revealed to me, this thing God, is because I'm in submission to it. So anything that you're in submission to is called a God. God is just a title that you put on things, like president.
Oh, so anything that we are submissive to, we can call a God. So that's the definition that we're working with. Yeah, I can work with that. There are things that I submit to, and I believe in that.
Yeah, and completely give yourself to. So God's plural.
Wait, completely give yourself to? What does that mean?
So I completely submit to it. So anything that is true, I believe. No matter what it is, as long as it's true, I believe it.
How do you know if it's true?
Yeah.
Well, in the same way that you know that anything is true. So
I don't know anything is true necessarily.
That's true. We're both agnostics.
Okay, well, I have some pills for you guys that will...
Why would I take your pills if you're talking about...
Well, no, but the pills that I'm selling you are true. How do you know that they're not true?
I don't know that they are, so I'm not putting them in my body.
No, that's not how it works. You don't have to prove something is not true. You have to prove that something is true.
I believe, I agree with you 100%. All I'm saying is that we are rational people who decide things are true and not true all day, every day.
Right.
We are people that... Hold on. I'm trying to follow you. Can you just slow down just a little bit? So we are rational. Some people are rational. Some people are not.
Okay. So rational people make decisions about what is true every day. So I would...
So what?
Functionally true, yes.
Let's define true.
Right.
So truth is the opposite of what is false.
The opposite of what is not true.
Okay, so
what is truth?
false?
What is false?
So what I'm saying, So what I'm saying again is that because I'm claiming to be God's messenger or the presenter...
You're not answering my question, though.
Question me. Yes, I'm trying to. I'm sorry. But I could provide evidence for anything that I'm saying. So if someone is claiming to have a truth claim, they could provide evidence for what they're claiming.
Right.
If someone is lying, then they cannot provide evidence for their lie.
Well, they can try.
Okay, so we know.
Hold on.
We know.
Hold on. So if I can't prove to you that Little Mermaid doesn't exist, does that mean that she does?
I'm sorry. you cannot prove that little mermaids exist. Well, we know that little mermaids are an imagination of someone.
Hold on. I'm asking you a question. If I can't prove to you that little mermaids do not exist, if I can't prove that, does that mean that they do?
Well, no, the fact that you can't doesn't mean anything, because I know from my own knowledge that little mermaids
so
are
you're the
imagination.
deciding factor because you're God's messenger,
No, not
right?
me at all. Not me at all. Not me at all. No, not me at
Okay.
all. I don't matter at all. I
Okay.
don't matter at all.
Okay.
Nothing does not matter. The only thing that matters is a rational mind. And a rational mind...
But you just said all humans are
imaginary-
rational minds.
No. Well, then I apologize. I mean that there are rational minds. Like in a court of law, there's a reasonable person standard. What does a reasonable person know? So as a society, we know that a reasonable person should know certain things.
Well, but reasonable
That's
people
how we
can
know
be
things in
wrong.
law. Yeah, exactly. But in law, we know that there are reasonable people. And so reasonable people would know that there are no little mermaids, like you just try to explain.
But so hold on. So when we're talking about what reasonable people believe and don't believe,
I would posit that reasonable people don't believe that you're God's messenger. How do we get around that?
I would say it's reasonable to believe that there's no reason to believe in any gods.
Absolutely. But you saying that there's no reason to believe in gods is like me saying there's no reason to believe in presidents. God is
Why
just a
would you
title.
say that? Why would you say that those are like the same thing when you can't prove that that you can prove that presidents exist, but you can't prove that gods exist?
Okay, presidents is
We
just
got
a
all this
title.
far just from trying to get him to define truth.
It's a
Yeah,
journey.
I know, but
It is.
so you're asking, how do I know presidents exist and gods don't exist?
I didn't ask you that.
Presidents are just gods. Are
I'm
just a
telling
title,
you
right?
that when you say that for me not to believe in a God is like for you to not believe in a president, I'm saying, how can you say that? That's not the same thing. I can prove
Because
that presidents exist, and nobody has ever been able to prove that any gods exist.
well, that's a false claim. I'm sorry. No, don't disrespect.
Then we
but
wouldn't have a
God-
show.
Yeah, I know, but God.
Several
is the
shows.
title.
Actually, you know what? I actually really like talking to you, and I really appreciate your honesty. You're doing great, and I really appreciate you. Eric Murphy is here, and he would really like to talk to you on Talk Heathen next week. They come on at 1 p.m. Central. Where are you? You're in New Jersey. Yeah, so they'll be on at 1 p.m. Central, and Eric Murphy would love to talk to you.
Okay. My YouTube channel is God's Messenger. You could contact
Cool.
me at that email. God. Yeah.
Okay.
You could contact me there.
I probably won't reach out to you, but if you want to call Talk Heathen next week, Eric would love to talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay? Thank you so much. We'll talk to y'all later. Thanks. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Oh, we got somebody named Heathen Hammer. I like your name, Heathen Hammer. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me on the show.
Awesome. It says that there's a possibility of a higher